Okay guys, what does smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol and taking illegal drugs have all in common? Let's see. They are all stimulants or depressants. They're all substances that are used by people to de-stress. And interestingly, with alcohol and drugs, illegal drugs, certainly the de-stressing is not just psychological, it's actually physical. At the physical level, when you take alcohol, your level of consciousness or your level of how you feel about yourself is just, it's kind of, you become less inhibited and you become more relaxed. But I'd argue with alcohol that's actually going below your level of consciousness, and it's actually making you stupider instead of cleverer and sharper when you're taking alcohol. Same with illegal drugs. I wouldn't say it's making you stupider, but it's definitely something that people use to de-stress, and psychologically it makes you happy, depending on what drugs you take. And with smoking, it's not so much physically making you more relaxed, but it's more psychological. And now, cigarettes, illegal drugs, alcohol. Why shouldn't? Why? It's not just de-stressing. They are all forms of like a crutch. Basically, they are all crutches people use to help them de-stress from life. So, like with cigarette smoking, they associate smoking a cigarette and the feeling with perhaps smoking with their colleague and just de-stressing. When actually, it's not physically making you de-stress. In fact, it's the opposite. When you put a cigarette smoke in your body, you're putting yourself full of chemicals and cadmium, heavy metals, and oh god, there's so many carcinogens, and you're fucking gonna, if you keep smoking, you'll give yourself lung cancer. And if you don't keep smoking, if you do it irregularly, it's still damaging your body. It's like taking one swig of aspartame from Diet Coke, for example. It's just disgusting stuff. And you know what? Any of these crutches being used is not ideal, because you want to develop your confidence from yourself, from who you are, from eating good foods, from meditating. You want to get your confidence, your de-stress from yourself, from how you think, how positive you are, how your belief system says failure is not failure, all these kind of things. Like, you've got to get your mind sorted. Exercising is great to clear the mind, to optimize the neurotransmitters. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that cigarettes, drugs, and alcohol are all the same. They're all crutches that humanity uses. Society uses one of these three. Some people use 2 or 3. The point is, you probably know someone that uses one of these 3 crutches. When they're out and they're a bit scared, they go and drink, and it makes them less inhibited. It's going to damage your body. It's going to fuck you up. You smoke because you've had a stressful day, and on your break from work, you smoke. Maybe it does de-stress you psychologically. Who knows? Maybe it does. The point is, at the same time as psychologically distressing you, you're putting loads of bullshit like cadmium, heavy metals, carcinogens. You're literally giving yourself cancer. You're literally damaging your body with every fucking puff. It's crazy. So it might de-stress, but it fucking I don't know, some fucking form of de-stress if you're actually pulling yourself for loads of bullshit in the cigarette smoking. One's like 300 fucking bullshit chemicals. It's ridiculous. That's smoking drugs, illegal drugs as well. You're probably giving yourself a nice high, putting yourself in state. But at the same time, you're damaging your body. Like, ecstasy puts you in state, but it takes away the dopamine, so that you actually lose the dopamine receptors in your brain after you've taken it once. Of course, the more regularly you use it, the more you use your dopamine receptors, which means basically the more you take ecstasy, and even once, the more you take it, the harder it's going to be to happier in your normal life when you're not taking ecstasy. And then there's an onward cycle then of needing ecstasy to get high, and then you can't become high from life. So all of these have bad damages. You should not rely on cigarettes, drugs, alcohol as crutches for anything. Please. Take the pain. Learn from people like me. I decided to give up alcohol. I've had some really bad experiences with it. When I go to the club, and I go to Birmingham next year, when I've been this year as well, I'm not going to use it as a crutch. I ain't going to use alcohol as a crutch. I'd rather go through the pain, peak socially, or not peak, or not get in state, than do what other people do, which is cheat and use it as a crutch. So they cheat and get in state because they're drunk, or they're 2 pints, 3 pints, they're not drunk, but they're nice and flowy, but they're using kind of like something else to stabilize their confidence and be themselves, when really it should be about you, not putting bad things in your body. Do not put bad things, do not use other things as crutches. You can use anything as a crutch. Use meditation as a crutch, use exercise as a crutch. Even you don't even want to rely on these though. You just want to live your life, be confident, get your self-esteem, because ultimately self-esteem is where it's all at. So yeah, drinking, drugs, alcohol, avoid these 3 crutches if you can in life, and that is one of the kind of like the basic levels to success. I'm not saying you can't be successful if you take those 3, baby, but it's a lot easier if you don't. So, drinks, drugs, and alcohol. What can I say? I've done it.